Hey, before we dive into this week's episode of Wars Wednesday, I just want to remind everybody we got an official sponsor, Print Pirate. The link to their Etsy store is down below. Make these awesome 3D printed tokens for your Star Wars Unlimited games. Also some other cool Star Wars stuff, like helmets, Christmas ornaments, and use code BOARDBARISTA to get 25% off. Again, link down below. Hey, honey.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey everybody, it's your Board Barista fan, and this is Wars Wednesday, my show where I talk about Star Wars the CCG, Star Wars Unlimited, and other stuff Star Wars related. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to be talking about my Chirrut Nui deck in a little while. I brought my Chirrut Nui action figure down off the wall just to be able to have a little cool little thing to have sitting here in the background. Let's put him in a place of honor here on the desk while we're filming this episode. But not first. I just want to say I'm not going to be talking about any. I wanted to talk about the spoilers this episode, but I really want to see how the game progresses. So I'm not doing any spoiler talk. So don't worry. It's coming later. I need to see some more cards in Shadows of the Galaxy in order to get a real feel for the set, but some of the cards are looking really spicy. Okay, before I dive into talking about the deck, I want to talk about metagaming. Metagaming is a skill that is both praised and frowned upon depending on what kind of game you are playing. If you are playing a competitive game, such as Magic the Gathering, Warhammer 40k, anytime where it's like and you're playing in tournaments, metagaming is alright. When you're metagaming in role-playing games, that's when it becomes a little, like, it's when everybody brings out the torches and pitchforks and goes, you're cheating! But honestly, you think about it, metagaming is not bad. Alright, you're thinking, like, a lot of metagaming can come down to the whole thing of like, well, it's a fire-breathing dragon, let's use some cold damage on this, see if that works, because the opposite of fire is ice. So, yeah, I'm going to cast an ice spell at the dragon I just saw that breathed fire at me. I think that's a good bet. Now, that kind of metagaming in D&D is allowed, but it's the whole thing of like, well, falling damage is only a d6, and I've got 80 hit points. This is only a 4-story building. I can just jump off and roll with it. I'm either going to take a bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough to kill me. I don't have a climb skill. I'm just going to go for it. And a lot of DMs will be like, oh, you're just cheating. You know you're going to be able to survive the roll, even if you fail the athletics to try tumble. You're cheating. It's like, dude, I'm tough. Alright, I am taking the whole thing of like, I know I am tough. I know I can probably survive a fall off a 4-story building and get up and walk away. It's like, I'm not metagaming, I'm just playing a badass. But then again, there's the whole thing of like, in card games, metagaming is knowing what you're going to face against. It's the thing of like, sitting there and thinking the 3D chess where it's like, okay, if I do this, my opponent can do this. And you're in the game and he's like, well, they're running this deck, which means chances are they've got this card, this card, this card, this card, and this card in there. The only answers that those colors really have to this that I'm doing are these 3 cards. I think, yeah, no, I totally got this match. Oh, I saw what my opponent played in game 1. I'm going to bring cards in from my sideboard in order to shore up my match so I can play and probably play around something I think they're probably going to bring out of their sideboard because I know they've got it. It's not usable against everybody. It's a sideboard card. You're using your knowledge of the game in order to gain an advantage. And that's part of card games, is learning the meta, learning what deck, what are the key cards in each deck. See, Roger agrees with me. Is knowing the key cards in each of the decks, knowing the cards that beat those decks, and then looking at the room and go, okay, who's my good matchup, who's my bad matchup. All right, I'm getting paired against this guy. I know he plays this kind of style. All right, so this is my plan. Thinking about what I'm going to do, sideboard options, great. But when you get to a point where what's going on in the Star Wars Unlimited game right now is hardly anybody can get their hands on the super rare expensive cards. The legendary cards are impossible to get your hands on. They're all $40 a piece. If you didn't buy them early when they were cheap, then you're not going to have them on hand. So you're going to go for a cheaper deck option. The cheapest deck option right now is two options. They're the same deck. They're just using different leaders and different bases. You either have green-red Leia, or you have green-red Sabine, red-green Sabine. You're playing against either one of those decks because that's the cheap cards. Nothing is really over like $15 in the deck. Everybody can get their hands on it. There's no legendaries. Everybody who's been cracking boxes like crazy, hoping to get a Vader, a Luke, Boba Fett, a showcase foil, has got, you crack a case, you pretty much have the cards for either Leia or Sabine, and you're good. And people who have already done that have got those up for trade. So when your metagame shifts to all aggro, it's time for you to shift too, and that's why I played Chirrut this week. Okay, so let's dive into the deck. I'm playing Chirrut red. It's the one with the Force deck. We got Chirrut as our leader, Tarkentown as our base. Our main deck is 3 Force Throws, 3 Arc 170s, 2 It Binds All Things, 3 Green Squadron A-Wings, 3 Sabine Wren, 1 Rebel Pathfinder, 3 Yodas, 3 Jedi Lightsabers, 2 Make an Opening, 2 Takedowns, 3 Fleet Lieutenants, 3 Wing Leaders, 3 Kanan Jarrus, 3 The Force is With Me, 1 System Patrol Craft, 2 Takedowns, 2 K2SOs, 3 Obi-Wan Kenobis, and this is a little shift from what you're going to see up here. I don't own the 3 Luke Skywalkers, so I ended up putting in 3 Lukes, 2 Redemptions. Sideboard is 3 copies of Devotion, 1 copy of Open Fire, 1 System Patrol Craft, 1 Takedown, 1 Vanquish, and 3 Force Surrenders. So the reason behind why I played this deck is because of the metagame. When I played Wednesday night, if I would have played, we would have had a total of 6 out of 10 players all on red-green aggro. Either Leia or red-green Sabine, and it would have been basically just aggro everywhere. And I was like, I don't feel like playing Sabine tonight. I actually felt like playing some Churro, one with the Force, because I have Arc 170 for Restore. I have It Binds All Things for a little bit of healing on my dudes. I have Yoda with Restore 2. I have Luke with Restore 3. I have Canis with basically Restore 1.5. Usually every card has an aspect that people are playing in decks, except for like one sideboard thing in the control decks. So you are guaranteed to just heal 1 off your base with him when he swings in. You also got Redemption, its whole thing, it's the medical frigate, so you can play it and deal damage to it to heal your base. In the sideboard, you've also got the ability to go for a second System Patrol Craft, so you got another Sentinel space unit. Obi-Wan's your big Sentinel ground unit. You have the 3 copies of Devotion to bring in to be able to start healing up. It has so much removal. There's so many opportunities to trade. Also, just playing against the aggro deck, you can Force Throw, make them discard, and if you get the Force unit, then you can deal the damage to the thing. That put one of my opponents into a very salty mood because he had a really clutch hand. He's like, I don't know what, I don't want to get rid of any of this stuff. So There's some annoying factors. There's lots of good Sentinel, lots of good healing. Make an Opening also does some healing in here, so there's a lot of healing. And I really like that. Like every game where I beat, we played 3 rounds. I played, I think I played green and red Leia all 3 rounds. Round one, based off the fact that I got my healing online, and it was just heal, the damage there, and just trading aggressively my units for their units till I can get to the point where I'm in my late game and I've got all my big guys and they've just got all their small guys, and I'm still able to play off my removal and take care of their guys and really take control of the game because I'm playing 1 card a turn. They're aggro swarming out like 2-3 cards. They're playing off the top, and I got control of this game because I've been able to survive, and we get to that late game and I can just push them over. It was nice. Of course, round 2, I did get aggro face stomped. It was too much. I couldn't get enough healing in. I think there was one game where it's like if I would have been playing the 30 card base, I could have won because I could have survived the attack and then won on the crackback. But no, it's my first tournament running the deck. Going 2-1, being able to basically match the effectiveness of how I'm playing my Sabine deck. The fact that it does do really good as long as the deck's firing on all cylinders, it can stand up to an aggro deck. I think against aggro Sabine, it's a little bit better, but a lot of people are on aggro Leia, and getting those double attacks means that you really do have to be aggressive in those trades. The forces with me being able to have that shield on the unit and buff and just be able to go in, to slap it and be like, okay, we're pumped. Even Chirrut's ability to give something +2/+0, just to have it stick around so they can be like, I'm going to damage it. I'm like, it's going to survive, but I'm still going to crack your base. Here. It was really, really nice to be able to play this deck and see what it's like and take a night off of playing aggro. So that was really fun. Yeah. It was really fun just playing this deck, and I think I'm gonna try it out some more. It's my first time. That night was actually my first time I've ever got, I think I got 2 games in with it before we started the tournament against my friend Fred, and so we were able to get, I was able to get 4 games out of this deck. I won 3 out of the 4. Granted, only one of them didn't count in the tournament, but I think as aggro decks just are becoming more popular, I think Fred's even thinking about going onto Green Red Agar. I think our shop is definitely going to be a kind of place where it's like you need to have the ability to, you need to have the ability to heal in order to survive there, and you're going to need to play like some 30 HP bases. I think the 3 damage from Target Town was nice, but I think if I do play this deck again, I'm going to try it with just a generic 30 HP base and see if that extra 5 life helps me out. Like a lot of my opponents were really playing around Tarkin Town. I wasn't able to really get in there to use it effectively a lot, and it was a lot of times where I was like doubling up on having to deal damage and then use Tarkin Town, and I'm like, I'm taking up too many actions here. I'm not getting the Inish to be able to get the first swing before somebody can drop a Sentinel. So yeah, I'm gonna play around with it. I think it's fun. I had fun playing it, and I can't wait to take this to the locals again in the near future. I want to know, everybody else out there, what's your favorite Vigilance deck? What are you playing for blue? Are you trying Chirrut, or are you trying Chewie? Are you just Iden? Are you just playing Iden? That's what you're doing. You're Iden control. Yeah, Iden and Krennic. Yeah. It's probably, I don't have the cards for the dark side versions of it. I really need to get my hands on like 2 more copies of Vigilance before I can actually play a blue deck on the dark side. So, anyways, that's it for me. Peace. See you next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for staying till the end of the episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Board Barista Productions. And if you want to support us, Patreon link at the bottom.